Hello? Hello? Yeah, we're live. Get in here, boo.
No.
Get in here, cute pants. No, come back. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Mango Pangolin. Hi, Wandering Ghost. Honeysuckle Bunny. Glad Papper. Hello. I'm glad these... Oh my god. Are the cats attacking? Hi.
No, I was attacking the cats.
Oh, okay.
She stepped in my foot. Louis' shirt is wholesome.
It's scary. It's spooky.
No, it's wholesome.
It's wholesome.
It's a wholesome shirt.
Hello. Hi, Drastic Daniel. Hi, Rada's Vlogs. Welcome. Hello, Wadzina. Or sorry, Wadzanai. Sorry, my bad. Hello, hello.
No, there's no room. I'm stretching my legs out. You have a whole couch to yourself.
Manica wants to cuddle, okay? Hi, Manica. Lear took her bed, as you can see, the little cat is right there. She wants that bed, but she can't have it. It's very upsetting. Hubby says hello. Oh, hey. Hey, Clad's hubby. Hello, Beatrice. Mikomar. I got it right the second time? Okay. Okay, good. You guys are awesome. Thank you. You're awesome. Lear is dead.
Don't worry, I go to the couch.
Hi, Fado. There's Fado.
Go, Mado.
There's
go, Mado. Go. Go, Mado. Go, Mado. Go.
Go,
Yeah.
Mado. Go, Mado. Go.
You have to do that to get her to do things.
You do. Otherwise, she's like,
She's too shy.
I'm not allowed to sit there. And you're like, we always let you sit there. And she's like, no, I'm not allowed.
You have to cheer me on.
Please. You know what?
Hello.
Sometimes you just need a little bit of encouragement. Sometimes, like, I know I'm okay with drawing things, but sometimes I just need someone to say, like, hey, you're good at drawing things.
Oh, she's drawing Avo.
Yes.
We were in a fight yesterday.
Oh my god.
on
I'm so
Discord.
upset. There was a character who I wanted to be a Twinkie elf man, and everyone else wanted him to be
A Dilfy elf man.
a dark academia Dilfy elf man. And I'm like, stop.
Sorry, I need to offer bug meat to my fish.
Oh, okay, because they whisper to you. You're good at drawing things? Oh, thanks, Mango. Hello, friends and
Thank
enemies.
you. This bug meat will keep us healthy. Why do they talk to
Why
me?
did the fish talk? I don't like that.
Thank you. This bug meat will keep us healthy.
My bangs are wild and out. They're like, we will not stay in place.
Ursula's amazing, actually.
Oh, you guys.
Ursula's idea. Oh.
You guys.
No, he's not a Twinkie elf man. None of you know him like me and Charlie know him.
Elves. Elves are Twinkies, okay?
Twinkie.
They're little
Cream puffs.
cream puffs.
Deep fried Twinkie. Oh my god.
Thank you, Honeysuckle. Thanks for telling the truth. I wrote the book. I get to choose what my fan looks like. Oh my god. Sometimes I feel like I don't have permission to enter my own house. Matica's relatable. Are you okay? Do you need us to come get you?
Oh my goodness. I love my chickens.
Chickens are good.
I'm playing Stardew again.
Yes.
It's like when I used to play that other game with the Twinkie elf boy.
Zelda.
Yeah, yeah. His name is Zelda, I believe.
That's not the thing. No, they're gonna think I'm a fake gamer.
You are a fake gamer.
How many comics do you guys have?
Too many.
4, I think. We have 2 active ones.
Active.
Shut up.
Imagine describing anything we do as active.
Okay. Not active, ongoing?
Yeah.
Yeah, ongoing comics. Yeah, we have the Magpie, which is in the works, and we have the Scourge of Nine Point, which is in the works. And we have 2 completed comics. One is called Sovereign. The other
No,
one
we
is...
don't have Sovereign. Sovereign isn't real. It
Oh.
can't hurt us.
Oh, thank God. And the other one is Pretty Mouth.
Pretty Mouth also isn't real.
Yeah, it's not real. Can't hurt you. Okay.
And this is we have novels.
Yes, this
We.
is... We. No, it's mine. I wrote it.
Oh right, Ursula wrote this.
Yeah. So if it's bad, you can blame it on me. No, it's good. It's very good. But yeah, we are doing an illustrated novel currently called Avo.
The books of.
The Books of Avo.
It's what is it? Aragon in the 20s, but it's lesbians
Yeah.
meets the Great Gatsby. Oh yeah, it's Aragon meets Great Gatsby, but it's lesbians.
Yes.
Women loving women.
It's a very sapphic story.
It is. We
It
got
is.
good guy sapphics, we got bad guy sapphics,
We got...
faxes. What do you guys think?
So yeah, it's very, very sapphic and
Very
queer,
Gay.
very gay. And it's 1920s fantasy.
And it has hot dragon ladies.
Yeah.
All dragons are ladies.
It's just got like what was it? Monster moms and hot delfs or something. That's all the characters.
Yeah. Oh, it was
Hot
like
monster ladies.
yeah, that's what we were describing the pantheon as. It was monster
Oh,
ladies
Yes.
and business casual dilf.
Yes. Oh my god. Oh, you're right. We also have some like we have an anthology that we did that Bones edited called Moonlight, which is all about LGBT werewolves.
Okay, I get it. You want me to do another anthology, guys?
Do
I get
it.
it.
Do it.
Oh shit! I have to do that
Um,
after the stream.
Slams hands on desk.
I didn't swear. Okay.
Okay. We also have Haunsters. Oh shoot, I need to finish the other 24-hour comic we did and actually post it.
Someone ordered something and I haven't shipped it yet.
How dare you?
I don't know. It's because
Bad
that other
businessman.
computer doesn't like to print.
Oh, this one? The one that I'm on?
Yeah.
Weird.
I'm gonna quickly dispatch this order.
Okay, do it. That sounds like you're gonna kill it.
Yeah, I'm killing it.
Straight up murder. I don't know what I'm drawing here. It's squiggles. Sometimes I'll do that. I'll just put something down because it's a vibe and I'll figure it out later. Okay, this is bad. I'm not doing this. Seed structure, Ursula. Friggin' do your work. Everyone, you better be working on your scripts. You better be working on your art and your comics. Or no dessert tonight.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
No dessert?
No. So work on your script.
Okay, what time
What?
are we? Okay, sorry. Let me print this out before I
Okay.
start asking questions.
What time?
I hope you like your package. Insert name here.
I'm photo bashing.
Bring. Oh,
I
thank
saved
you.
it from crumpling. Because we leave things on our printers like dolts.
We do. Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm back.
Hey, what are you talking
Um,
about?
What time of the day should be Avo o'clock? And we'll pretend that we're okay.
What?
Ursula and I
Yes.
have been getting behind on work
Yes.
because life is sad and boring, and we don't like working.
Yeah. Working
Because we used to go to like the thing, the cafes and stuff, right, to get work done. However, nowadays,
Can't really do that.
can't do that. I mean, you can, but it doesn't feel cool anymore, and the vibe, not great, not a great vibe.
Yeah.
Also, we're just not used to going out, and we've moved since the
So-
world ended.
We have to find the good cafes again with the good vibes.
Yeah, well, no,
Oh.
that's not it. That's not where I'm going with
Oh,
this.
where are you going with
I'm
it?
so Ursula's been complaining that she's not getting a lot of Avo done because she only really works on it during our bi-weekly Patreon hangouts, which you could join in on. They're very fun. We talk about a lot of stupid crap. Sorry, silly nonsense.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. However, yeah, she hasn't been getting Avo done, so we need to pick a time of day where me and Ursula pretend that we're in a cafe, but it's actually in our house, and we be all cute, and we sit and work for like 30 minutes to an hour minimum
Yeah.
every day.
Every day.
So we need to pick a time of day to do that. Like pick an hour of the day in which we do that.
Yeah.
I imagine it would be the same hour as the Tuesday hangout. Would probably be the best.
That's true.
Or
'Cause that would
sometime
also
around there.
Coincide with the Thursday stream.
Yeah, well the Thursday stream would also
that would be
yeah,
the hangout time.
yeah, cuz you work.
True.
Yeah.
For an hour. Okay.
Cuz if we decided like, hey, like 6:30 to 7:30, we're going to sit and work together.
Yes.
And I would pretend to work and make sure that you work.
Hey.
I need to work too, but sometimes I just don't have a work in my heart.
That's fair.
But
You
I
know
but I
what?
do want to like do it more.
Yeah.
And if I sat down, I probably would do it more.
It
but
feels like giving yourself more chances to do it
Exactly.
instead of just waiting for the time to appear.
But you need to draw more.
Yeah. Because drawing I can
consistently.
do, I just don't make time to do it these days.
Exactly. It's not like writing where sometimes like you can write and sometimes you can't.
Yeah.
Like drawing is like something like you can consistently work on regardless of the time because like you have that one comic that you need to flat color
Yes.
or you have panel layouts so even when you have no brain you can still work on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's still things I could do even if I'm
Using the cafe ambience to get myself in the mood. Yeah, so we
Heck
need to
yeah.
pretend we're in a cafe.
we're
We can also go on the chat if we want to.
Yeah.
But I think 6:30 to 7:30 every day except on Saturdays
Yes.
because you already will be working on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that sound good?
That sounds good.
And
Okay.
I'm saying it right now because there's a bunch of people watching you. So
Oh.
we can all text Ursula at 6:30 Eastern time.
Oh my god, I just get like a barrage of DMs like, are you working?
We need to set me 6 or whatever, our bot on Discord to be like, Charlie's a furry. That's your daily reminder. Also, is Ursula working?
Is she?
It's your daily reminder to remind Ursula to be working.
Oh god.
The harass Ursula hour. Yeah.
Yes.
And if you're a Patreon member, which most of you are, honestly, because we're doing great in the YouTube algorithm. Honestly, like, YouTube's been bad to us, but Patreon people have been popping off. Like, we've been doing really well on Patreon.
So thanks guys for supporting us. That means a
Yeah.
lot.
I did my very first mentorship thing, which was
Mm.
cool.
Heck yeah.
I talked for an hour
Very good.
after. It was like the critique stream, except one-on-one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
so
cool.
if you want that, that is available through Patreon.
Yeah, that is available. That's a lot of money, though.
It is. It's a lot of money.
You have to empty your coffers. I went from brain frog,
Brain frog. Ribbit, ribbit.
frog brain.
Um,
Me anytime I'm on Twitch.
Yes.
I told myself I wouldn't work on weekends this academic year, and yet.
Frog, frog.
Oh, I got Charlie gifts on Etsy.
Aw.
So I recently got a response that was like I got a text on Etsy, and I'm used to only receiving like texts from like clients. I have to like, well, not clients. What do you call them? You know,
Customers?
customers who are like, oh, I have something to tell you, customer. But this time it was a shop owner that like I had bought stuff from, and they were like, Charles. They addressed me as Charles, and I was so confused. I'm like, do people think that Charlie runs our Etsy? I was so confused for a hot minute.
Oh my god.
Because like I woke up to this message, and then I realized
Charles.
I love munching the dinosaur's butt. Thank you, bestie.
Oh,
Dinosaur has a good butt to munch on.
I'm sad about time.
I really
Zone.
want to get that
Aw.
Game Boy jewelry.
It does look really cute.
Because when I was a kid, I used to try to bite the buttons off of the.
You did? Oh my god, you're a monster.
Oh, they were so good.
That upsets me.
Whenever there's like a little rubber button, like it would end up in my mouth, and I'd be trying to pull it out.
Stop!
And I just want to relive my child.
You're like the dogs. When they get a hold of a tag and they're like, I will
Game
rip
Boy
this
buttons are
out.
tasty. It's true.
Stop. Oh my god. Demons.
That's us. You got us. You got us there, queen.
I did.
Oh, my duck grew up. Hey, duck. Hey, duck. I love you. Illy. Oh, a new baby chick has hatched. What do we name this chick? I'm naming them all P names, so I just wait for like one of the.
Name it Petunia.
No. Its name is
Perseus?
Perlo, apparently.
Perlo.
I just do a roll until I get a P name. Oh, it's a little blue chickie.
Anyone used to chew their sleeves making holes for their thumbs?
Oh, I got a blue one.
I did always want holes in my sleeve so I could put my thumb through, though. And then they started making clothes with them already in, and I was like, it's
I
not
don't
the
want
same.
these.
I don't want that. Charlones and Chursula. Yes. Oh, hey, Starry. How you been?
Oh, hello, Starry. Welcome back. Welcome back. Pumbus. I love Pumbus.
Pumbus is good.
Ursula
Charlotte-
started playing
I did.
on my modded version.
so
of Stardew.
cute.
Starloo.
Starloo.
Starloo Valley.
Yeah.
Matica's just splayed out on the couch. Like, she's like, this is mine.
Yeah, it is hers.
Yeah, I'm proud of her. I always feel weirded out when they're sitting on my couch. I'm like, I sit there, guys.
We have 2 couches in our living room, and one is mine, and one is Bones's, and the dogs sit on mine.
Yeah, because I'm usually on mine.
Yeah,
Whereas you work upstairs throughout the day, so they come downstairs and sleep
Yes.
on your couch.
exactly.
But my couch is mine. So when I'm on the computer and they're sitting on my couch, I'm like, guys, that's mine.
It's mine. Don't
I'm very
go there.
possessive of my furniture.
Because I
It's-
go sit on his couch because it's not viewable on camera. So sometimes Bones will be like on camera talking to our patrons, and I'm like, I don't want to be in the back while I eat my lunch. It's weird. So I go sit on his couch, and he gets upset.
Yeah, that's mine. Why are you sitting there? It's mine.
You started university? Oh heck! Congrats. I
We
hope
need
it's
to
going
clean
well.
out the dining room.
Yeah, it's covered in our sewing stuff and
Well-
knitting stuff now.
Well, it's still my sewing room. I just need to clean it up.
Yeah.
Even then, like, my sewing stuff is everywhere. It's an absolute mess.
Granny couches. I love our granny couches. We need to get covers for them.
Yeah, we also need to vacuum them out.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff we need to do.
Yeah, can you imagine doing things?
Can you imagine having executive function?
Haha, no. Requires executive function to think about it.
Exactly.
I can't believe I need 15 clumps of fish eggs in my pocket
Ew.
before the Junimos will be happy with me.
Junimos. How
I
dare
just
you?
grab it in my hands, drop it on the counter.
Oh, God.
Sips fish eggs. Roe.
I need a reference. How would
Roe
one
fish eggs
decorate
go roe.
a royal room?
Whose royal room is it?
The princess.
Oh. Right.
Like, what do royal rooms look like? Oh, they got like paneling on walls and
You
stuff.
have to look at 1920s, right?
Oh shoot, you're right.
Because I guess they wouldn't change that much, but I'm sure renovations occur.
Oh yeah.
Well, a lot of their stuff is made with like starlight and stuff because it's like old, right?
Yeah, because they're living in a castle.
Yeah, it's a castle. And there's an intricate carpet, right,
Mm-hmm.
in that room.
Yes.
And there's a painting of Mom.
Yes. Is there in that room?
In
Is the
her
painting-
room?
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't there?
Oh.
Like that's like a whole scene where she looks to her mom, right?
I mean, I don't think I can show it in this
Yeah.
panel, but okay.
That's the things I remember being in that room.
Okay.
Fish eggs instead of tapioca and bubble tea. Yes.
Oh God. Ugh. That hurts me.
Salty.
Blah.
Salty snack.
Don't ruin bubble tea.
Bubble tea already ruined itself. It's gross.
How dare you?
The bubbles specifically are gross to me.
How dare you? Do you like the jelly in it? When they just have like
I've never actually
Coconut
had
jelly
the
or something?
bubbles. They just look gross, so I haven't tried them.
Oh, you should try them. One day we'll be able to order taro bubble tea.
Yeah, we'll order one and
Every
I'll
time.
get a sip.
Every time.
I know,
try
we've
to
talked
get-
about this on stream before. Pretty recently, I think.
I think for this image, it might be more interesting if I show more of the room.
All of your pictures for Avo are very setting focused,
Yeah,
which is fine because that's kind of the style.
yeah. Definitely. Because, like, I don't know. I don't know.
It's
just-
a lot
it-
more intricate and stuff.
Totally. Well, that's the thing. If you look at all of the, like, illustrators I'm pulling from, because a lot of it is based off, like, 1920s illustrators, they do very much focus on the environment as much as the character design.
Yep.
So,
And you've designed a lot of Sims houses in the between times of making other projects, and now you're all about room design, which is good.
yeah.
I'm glad you're there because before you had a lot of the pretty mouth couch comes to mind.
Yeah. Okay. So if I make this smaller, yeah, if I keep that there, it kind of keeps them in the focal point. Okay. Then I can add more stuff in the foreground. That'll make it more interesting. Awesome.
What about the 20s fashion plate I sent you?
I did enjoy the fashion plate you sent me.
What's a fashion plate?
I don't know. Ask Charlie.
Charlie, I'm asking. What's a fashion plate? What does that mean? Educate me. It's a fashion illustration, usually an advertisement. Oh, okay. Cool. Thank you. Ugh. Just vibing.
Just vibing.
What's everyone up to? How are your creative endeavors going?
Yeah. What's
Where can
everyone
we
working
read or
on?
buy your guys' comics? I don't know where you can read them at this point. I think on Webtoons and Tapas
Yes, they
is
are.
the best place because
there.
we haven't fixed our website. But you can buy them on Etsy or our Itch.io store.
Yes.
Scripting on part 4. That's
Heck yeah.
exciting.
Woohoo!
I'm working on a novella right now. Oh, that's exciting.
Ooh.
Oh, is anyone doing NaNoWriMo this year?
Oh yeah, who's gonna do NaNoWriMo?
Who's nanoing those rhymos?
Yeah.
I'm working on how I do perspective. It's good to get perspective sometimes.
It is.
Do, do, ba-ba-da-do. Who's gonna do NaNoWriMo? Me looks over at my hubby who avoids my gaze. Oh no, what does that mean?
Oh no.
I'm doing NaNoWriMo this year.
Nice. What you writing?
I still haven't decided if I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on if I'm feeling like writing when November hits.
Mhm.
I mean, I'll probably hang out with the NaNoWriMo people because
Yeah.
there'll be a lot of events.
Exactly. It's one of my favorite times of the year because we
It's
get to
the
see all
most
our writing
Wonderful
pals.
time of the year.
And it will be really handy for my dissertation. Bless. Hey, Brenda. No, working on it right now because deadlines. But I've been coloring pages between homework. Nice.
Rebel.
Heck yeah, be a nano rebel.
It'd be fun to do nano stuff, but comic stuff? The comic stuff? I mean, you can.
Yeah,
That's what being a rebel is all about.
exactly. Some years for nano, I've just done like comic pages, like just drawn.
They call them comics because we are all clowns.
Yes, you get it.
Like, if I do, it'll probably be either like Avo or Silvertooth.
Okay.
Avo Book 2. Well, because I have them on paper and they're the ones I'm writing.
Yeah.
I mean, I could try writing something else, but nothing comes to my brain at the minute. Writing sounds so stressful. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Honestly,
Scary.
spooky. It's a true spooky season.
I've been researching so many self-publishing options. Oh. Self-publishing is fun. I like self-publishing. I was dyeing my hair. Well, welcome, Leech. What
Well-
color did you dye it?
Yeah.
Or were you covering up your gray hair like Ursula?
Listen, I'm an old lady now.
That's why she's knitting. She found all her gray hairs, and as they multiply, her knitting ability does as well.
Exactly. I'm making Bones a sweater. I'm crocheting it.
I'm scared.
It's gonna be cute
I'm
and terrible.
scared.
Expect a terrible sweater.
I'm scared.
What if I made it a turtleneck?
No, I hate turtlenecks.
Okay, no turtleneck.
I love the idea of turtlenecks, but I have like a turtleneck sweater and I hate wearing it.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll make it a regular neck. Do you like V-necks?
Yeah, they're fine.
Okay.
My favorite kind of sweaters are like honestly, my favorite kind of sweaters are like ones with buttons, but I can do a pullover.
Okay. I'll work on that next. There are cardigan patterns, but I figured just a regular one was a good place to start.
Yeah.
But I would like to make.
There's a lot of good
cardigans.
buttons at that sewing place I like.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
They have lots of fancy buttons. Ursula would never cover gray hair.
Never.
Crochet me some trousers. All right.
Okay. You just gotta send
Ursula,
me your
get on that.
measurements, and I'll make you some. I'll make you some trousers.
I have Sammy's measurements. You can make Sammy a sweater.
Yes. I'll do it.
Make Sammy a sweater vest.
Yes. I'll make Chorl and Sammy sweater vests.
Matching sweater vest.
So they can be hot dilfs.
Can you make all three of us matching sweater
Yeah,
vests?
let's say nasty boy across the chest.
Yeah.
I'll have to make one for AZ too.
Yeah, exactly.
I developed a patch of white on my eyebrows. Damn, that's kind of cool. When I was a little girl, I had a fluffy baby pink turtleneck. And I hated when my mother would put me in it. Oh no. Oh
Yeah,
my
I just
God.
don't like things on my neck
That's
much.
fair. Massive dump truck, yeah. Send me your measurements. I'll make you little knit trousers. Keep you warm. I guess they could be little warm PJ pants. I don't know. How often do you wear like knit trousers?
Every day?
Every day.
Depends on what you mean by knit.
Yeah, I mean like this, like a sweater knit.
Yeah.
Like thick yarn knit. Because I know most things are like woven or whatever, but
No, woven's the opposite.
is it?
Yeah.
What's the difference between woven and knit?
Woven is like woven, and knit is knitted. Yeah.
Okay. I could make mermaid blankets. Whatever. I feel like God is making my character design interesting. I love it.
I love in Stardew where your dog just trembles. It's very realistic.
Yeah.
That's what our dog does all the time too.
Yeah. Well, thunderstorms are abundant this year.
They are. What is with that? They just hate Madoka specifically. God.
Do.
Why does God hate our dog specifically?
It's because she's a hellhound.
Oh, yeah, that actually makes sense. My fish are talking to me again.
Stop. It's so creepy.
God said my character design needs a scary snowman face with made of freckles on my arm.
What?
Knit a
Oh my
sleeping
god, that
bag.
used to drive me crazy. Bones in high school would find, because I'm covered in freckles, like I'm a very freckly person, and Bones would find freckles and just turn them into smiley faces on my body with a little pen. Just draw mouths underneath 2 freckles, and I was like, stop it. Do it in places I can't reach, like on my back and stuff. I feel like, quit it.
I forgot about that. I used to be close to you.
Knit a sleeping bag in the shape of a sardine that you can zip all the way up.
Oh, knit
It's just like a little hole for your face.
knit
and
one of
then-
those mermaid blankets.
Yeah,
Those are so cute.
they're super cute. I have thunderstorms brewing outside my house. Oh no. Well, I hope they stay far away. I would draw freckle weenies. So Bones is better. How dare you? Hello, welcome.
I want Chris to get really good at knitting and knit herself a mermaid blanket and upset Ro.
It's like, stop it. I hate when you do that.
Yeah.
triggered.
Triggered. It's like, no, you died. It's very upsetting.
She's like, but it's so cute.
She's like, but I got better.
I
It's
got
fine."
it. It's fine. Hey, mouth.
I really want to hear from you guys about what story medium is most suitable for different story types. Like, I know, like, now I'm questioning if my story is better for a novel or a comic.
So,
Wait, I'm the writer. Why do you always try to answer the writer
because
questions?
I like to talk.
N-
I want to feel like I'm.
No one ever
included.
asks you questions. Guys, you need to
Okay.
ask more art questions because
Answer-
Ursula feels lonely.
Answer the
However,
question.
for determining whether it's a comic or a novel, novels tend to work well with very like internalized, like if you have to deal with like characters' thoughts, it's usually good to go with a novel, especially if your character is a lot of like the plot happens as the character like reflects and thinks to themselves, because otherwise you're gonna have a lot of like soliloquies in your comic. Which is fine if that's what you're into, especially if you want to show that visually. However, it's a lot easier to do very like internal thought thinky thinky stories in prose form, whereas novels are anything that would look good visually. And also wait, did I say novels?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Comics are anything you want to do a lot more visually. If you want to show off cool visuals, or you have a story that looks really cool, then you would want to do it in comic form, most likely.
Yes.
Also, comics take more of your life.
Yeah, they take a long time to make.
They take a lot of time to make and work. So also keep that in your equation. And if you still want to do visuals, do an illustrated novel. Bing bang boom, you win both worlds.
Ursula, how
Publishers
was your
hate
day?
them, but I love them.
They're so good.
Yeah, there you go.
Love an illustrated novel.
Ursula's trying to cut in. She's like, I want to talk. So
Let me
just
talk.
let her. Okay? We'll let Ursula talk, guys.
How was your day? My day is good. I'm knitting a sweater. That's what I did today. How come you're so fine always? Oh, thank you.
They literally have nothing to ask
They have nothing
you.
to ask. They're like, we
They're
know
like-
how to do art. Ursula, shut up and let Bones talk.
Shut up and let the man speak.
God.
I already draw. What are you doing over here, Abigail? Hi.
Ursula,
Your hair
how do
looks
you
cool today. Thank you.
how do you go about text composition on a page? What do you mean by text composition? What are we talking about here? Are we talking about speech bubbles? Are we talking about
Speech buble.
on a novel? Like, are you making a text document? Are we talking about on a title page? Writing is hard. Art is the easiest thing ever. It's true. That's why
Iridium, more like Iridium.
that is one thing that's
Bomb.
that's funny. Like, okay, Bones and I talk about this all the time. But I find with like art, if you can do more than just the average person at art, everyone thinks you're amazing. If you can draw more than a stick figure, you're like, everyone's like, whoa, that's so cool. But I feel like everyone thinks they can write.
I will change that. My opinion is that as soon as anyone tries to write a story, they will think you're an amazing writer.
Oh yeah.
Like, anyone who's like tried to write a story will immediately realize it's really hard. Like, they look at what they've got and they're like, oh, this is hard. And then they like will ask you like a million questions the rest of your life. That's what I've learned
Oh, okay.
after doing it for a while.
Gotcha,
And
gotcha.
after people see me as a good writer. Like, it takes a while to get there, but once you're there, people are like, please help me. Please, I don't know what I'm doing.
Such a mood. That's literally it, though. As soon as you start to write, you're like, oh god. What have
You're
I
like,
done?
this is so good in my head, and I know how to make words. Bones isn't a good writer, he's just stubborn.
Is it a waste of money to go to college for creative writing?
Probably.
Probably.
I mean, it depends on what you mean by a waste of money, you know? Like, we were talking about this, but most people who go to college for, like, art or just art, like, because creative writing is also art,
Yeah.
like, they don't regret their time there, but they would never pay for it.
Yeah.
If they had the chance again, they wouldn't do it. But they're glad that they went. It's a weird thing.
Yes.
We have AI to create art. Now we need something to translate thoughts into paper. Can AI create art? Because I don't think so. I don't think AI is at the level where it can create art. I think creating an AI that makes art is the art itself, but AIs can't make art because they don't have intentions beyond what is put into them.
Oh, true.
Like, once we get to the point where AI is self-aware and, like, has thoughts and stuff, then I think it can make art. But until then, AI isn't making art. The art that is made by the AI is the art.
Agreed.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because art needs intention.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
The AI is the art. Bones keep gatekeeping art from robots? Yeah, I will. Use the printer isn't an artist, okay? The person who made the art and printed it off, that's the artist, and the art was made with the intention, right?
yeah.
The thing that was made is the robot. Girlfloss gatekeep. That's like just basics, right?
Yeah. Because art is, what is it? Expression through visual mediums with intent, like something like that.
Yeah.
That's like the visual art side.
Question for Bones? Oh my god. I'm sorry, Ursula.
That's
No
okay.
questions for you.
That's okay. It gives me more time to draw.
Yeah. How do I write a character flaw? I've been trying to think of a good one, and my child mind cannot comprehend it. Well, like, anything can be a flaw, right? Like, the best way to think of a flaw is, say, first you need to consider, like, what does a character want? And when I say, like, what a character wants, I mean, like, very specific. I don't mean, like, oh, they want to be happy. Oh, they want to... They want a family. I guess wanting a family is, like, a little more direct. However, they need to want something, like, actually specific and obtainable. Like, you don't necessarily need this for every story, but it's a very good place to start as a beginner writer, or whenever you're having difficulties with a character, is to define a very specific and tangible want. Like, wanting a dog, or I guess, I don't know about the wanting a family thing the more I think about it, but, like, it needs to be tangible. It needs to be real. Like, they can... I'm trying to think of, like, different things that people want.
They want
Or characters, like...
They want a date to their sister's wedding. To take to their sister's wedding. Or they want to save their little brother from the bad guy, or
Yeah, I guess that's kind of... Those can kind of be wants.
I guess what's like a specific example of a character?
No, I think those are okay wants.
Yeah.
It doesn't...
Date to their own wedding.
to
Yeah,
their
they want to
own
get
wedding.
married.
Yeah.
That's their goal of the story.
Oh, well, okay, like wanting to get married is like a good one, but a better one is like wanting a ring, a proposal,
Oh,
right?
gotcha.
Like it needs to be like a lot more tangible and real and kind of specific. Like you kind of want that to be going on. Anyways, and then you need to think of like why they can't have that thing and what they need to do in order to get that thing. So like when you come up with a very specific want like that, like I want a dog, then you can think of like why I can't have a dog. Well, because like my mom won't let me get a dog. But why won't my mom let me get a dog? It's because I'm irresponsible. And then you can determine like okay, in order to get the dog, they need to become responsible in some way, right? Like they need to show responsibility. And then their flaw becomes like, oh, they're irresponsible. And we're going to show throughout the thing that they are irresponsible. What a lot of you young writers do
Me.
is you say like, "Oh, I have a character, here's their flaw," but you never show their flaw beyond like one instance, or you just say they have a flaw. If you have a flaw, you need to show it. It needs to affect them. It needs to be the central reason why everything in their life keeps failing. Like whenever we go into the no but yes and, especially when you're focusing on a character type plot where a character needs to change, you need to have things hinge on the flaw as much as possible. You know, if you have a location plot, it's even more powerful if you can connect your character plot to that by having them fail because of their flaw, because of their character flaw. You know, like in Hamlet, things keep getting worse because he can't freaking make a decision.
Yes.
Like everything continues to build off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Every time it gets worse, it should be because of their flaw until they reach the end where they recognize what they need and they implement it. You know, your character will realize on some level what their need is around the midpoint. It'll be introduced to them and they'll think, huh, maybe I should be responsible. And then they'll go, nah, not yet. And they'll go and continue into the third act like a little loser, and they will mess up super hard with their irresponsibility one last time where they finally realize, huh, I should get my things together. And then they do that, and then at the end they get their dog. Shrek is a perfect want/need structure. Yeah, a lot of stories are like identifying those things is very important. And if you look at really formulaic kind of Hollywood movies, you'll be able to identify wants in a very specific sense. I guess musicals are always good for that because there's always a song that
True.
literally states what they want. It's a very important part of a musical. But yeah, like you want your want to be specific. Like sometimes you'll make it a little too vague and intangible, and then you kind of lose your character's motivation. Because if they want something vague, it's really hard to move in a direction. It's kind of like life, honestly. If you're making a comic, you need to have like a specific goal in mind, otherwise you kind of meander vaguely in comic directions. You know, you're like, oh, here's a bit of drawing, here's a bit of writing, but you never get anywhere. Like it's the same for your characters. Like they need to have some sort of drive that compels them through their story. And I say need in a very kind of like loose sense, where like, not a loose sense, what is it, it's like write a few stories that have very strong structure before you start breaking this stuff.
Yeah. Got the foundations down. Then you can go buck wild.
Like, I can think of my own stories. Oh. I can't. I can't think of my own stories. The problem is my stories are ongoing, so I can't really talk about them, and no one's read Honeywalls. But yeah, like, I can think of, like, character wants. I want an adventure in the great life somewhere. Like, what does Claire's want? She wants to write. She wants adventure in the Great White somewhere. I haven't read Honeywells in a while. Ro wants.
I read Honeywalls.
Oh, okay. What does Ro want?
You
Like-
should do a video about Shrek being a narrative masterpiece.
You should.
Claire's wants to pierce your ears. Good one.
Beautiful. Who's Honeywells? I haven't. Someone must have a want in that story.
Probably.
Well, I guess, like, I don't know what, like, his initial want is, because I know, like, what compels him through the story is that he wants to save his girlfriend,
yeah.
who's become a mermaid. And in general, he wants things.
I mean, I guess at the very start, like after the. Wait, is the when he gets the letter the inciting incident,
The inciting incident?
or is that
No,
that's
the inciting
later?
incident would be the death, because, like,
Okay.
it. I don't know if entirely. Act 1 is a lot longer than people think it is.
Definitely. Anyways, but he does have a goal after he gets the letter.
Because that happens immediately. That's like the introduction.
Oh, you're right. That's
Yeah,
the
immediately.
intro.
It's like,
we meet our characters and then
this is kind of where
Intro.
we're at, where Ro is, like, avoiding everything. And then the inciting, or I guess, like, the call to action is when, like, the death occurs. And he's like, well, now I have to go.
right.
You know,
right,
that's
right,
the
right.
end of Act 1.
Yes.
I guess it might be the inciting incident. I'm really bad at this stuff. You know what part of it is, guys? This is gonna sound so smug, but, like, I've gotten so good at writing that, like, it's very intuitive and it's hard to explain sometimes.
Wow.
I don't know. Do you get that with art?
Yeah, definitely. It's like sometimes someone asks a question. I'm like, oh, I don't know how to explain that with words.
Yeah, you're just like, well, I
Let
mess
me-
this up all the time, and then
let
I
me think about
eventually got it.
Yep. Let me think about it.
I
For
was,
the longest time, I couldn't describe color theory when I was learning it. Now I am better with it.
yeah, it helps to, like, explain things to people. Like, it helps you.
Yeah, it helps you kind of codify what you know.
Ro wants to remain static. Yeah. Well,
we
Ro's
all?
main problem is he's in denial and he runs away from things. Like, he needs to face things and stop running away in order for him to get what he wants. And what he wants is to just live. To have his girlfriend be alive, because that's what happens as soon as his needs are met. That is the end. Yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. We figured it out, guys.
Did it?
I feel like when I was fixing Claire, like, I needed to give her wants. Because before she was very, like, meandering through the story.
Yeah.
But, like, she spends a lot of the story, like she wants. Oh, like, her want is really specific. She wants to get the ending of Rose's story.
Oh.
Because
you're
at the
right.
very beginning, Rose is like, "Oh, I'm the final chapter of Oxnard," and she's like, "I want that." So everything else is kind of tertiary to her kind of getting that,
Yeah.
and she gets distracted by a lot of stuff.
I have
And
a
then she has, like,
question.
deeper wants.
I have a fun question. to think about.
Mhm.
What do you do if you have a character flaw? So, like, you say it's a good place to start with a want. What if you have a
Oh, a
character
character
flaw?
flaw. I was like,
and
if you
then-
have a character floss, and I'm like,
You're like, what?
okay, sorry. Wait,
A
sorry.
character flaw, but you don't
Mhm.
know what they want. Is there a way to go from flaw to want? Where you're like, I have this character who is, like, they avoid problems when they
Yeah.
appear. So what's something that they could want?
I don't think it would help you determine a want. I
Mhm.
think wants tend to be pretty separate. Like, obviously, because the want can help you in a sense of like how to get in the way of a want, but if you already know what's getting in the way,
Mhm.
it helps you determine the need, and I guess you can intuit like what the want is from that and be like, okay, in order to get what they want, they need to do this, and like you could like, because I guess if it's like, oh, they need to be responsible in order to get what they want. So you could think of things like you need to be responsible in order to get. But it's easier to figure out what the want is by looking at the beginning of the story and seeing what they're lacking
Right.
and where you want them to be at the end. Like what they need to, not what they need, what would they obtain as a logical result of like their beginning state.
Oh, okay.
Like I think knowing what they need and knowing their flaw can help you kind of figure that out. However, I feel like wants can literally be anything.
Okay.
Like, I think you can change wants pretty easily without changing your character structurally too much. Like, wants will very much change the flavor of things, because like if you think of a story of someone who's irresponsible and they need to become responsible,
Mhm.
like the flaw is very connected with that, but the result can be anything. It can be like, oh, now that they're responsible they get a cat, now that they're responsible they can open the China store. Now that they're responsible, they can get a dog. Now that they're responsible, they get the Xbox that they wanted. Like it's a very tangible, specific thing. So it can really be interchanged pretty easily.
Okay.
And that's kind of why I like to start with it, especially if you're having issues with your character, is it's very simple and it isn't going to change much, but it will change your perspective on the character a lot, I find. Because if you think of a character and they have a passion for something and they have a drive, it fixes a lot of your problems. You just need to pick something they have a drive towards.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Shrek
Okay.
doesn't know what he wants.
I feel like he knows what
I
he
feel-
wants. He doesn't know what he needs.
Yeah, like Shrek.
Because isn't it start he wants
Ca-
everyone to leave him alone?
Well, no, leaving him alone wouldn't be the thing. Like, he wants his swamp, right? And like it's being impeded upon.
Right.
Like, why does he start his adventure in the beginning? Like, what? And what does he get at the end? Like, it needs to be something specific and tangible.
Oh, he doesn't know what he truly wants. Gotcha.
Yeah. Because the thing that you don't know what you like not knowing what you truly want is more of a flaw. Bones, annoyed that no one asks Ursula questions. Also, Bones, the second the chat starts bombarding Ursula with questions, it's writer hour. Wait, Ursula just got a question. What do you mean? Oh, wait. Okay, Ursula got a bunch of questions. Okay,
I did.
cool.
What are
Well,
my
I need to expand on the points in order for us to get clips for videos for Charlie, okay? So now Ursula can answer all the questions that she was asked.
what are your questions?
Okay, I'll read you the
Thank you.
questions. Question for Ursula. What things do you usually put as backgrounds when drawing a detailed background? Every panel isn't realistic because time and energy.
Right. Yeah. So I think when you're trying to figure out what panels you want to have detailed backgrounds, I think you need to understand the point of that panel. If the point of a panel is to show like a character's expression, you probably don't need a super detailed background. The focus should be on the character, especially if it's like a close-up of their face showing a reaction. Like, you don't need a background for that. Just put all your work into the face. But if you're doing something like an establishing shot, like showing this is the room they're in, or this is the castle they're about to enter, like, you want to show that detail. So usually something like that, like an establishing shot, the focus will be the room or the architecture or the, I don't know, forest thing, the environment they're in. So that's the main focus. And then if you have a shot where you're kind of not sure, where you're like, I want to show, I don't know, characters doing an action, but, you know, it's pulled out. You can see their full body. Obviously, you don't want to just have no background because otherwise it feels like they're in a blank room. With that, it's kind of, I think when you're including a background in that, sometimes it can just be like, I want to ground the character in a real spot. It can be, the audience,
That little shit.
cats, the audience needs to know, like, where the characters are in relationship to each other, so you need to show kind of the room around them. You can be showing information in a background that's not being focused on, so you can have, like, in the foreground you have two characters talking, and in the background you can show someone like sneaking out the back door who's just like stolen something. Like, you can have stories in the background where you need to show, like, you need to show the door or the window they just snuck in through or something like that. Yeah, so it's really just kind of, what is your intention with this panel? Is it yeah, it's like, do I need to show the background, or am I focused more on an emotion, or I don't know, something more abstract than that, where I don't necessarily need a background. I'd also save, this isn't like an always rule, but generally, like, if you're gonna include a background, you'll probably want it to be like a larger sized panel, where if it's a small panel, it might not be worth it to put a background in unless the focus of that panel is the background. So yeah, I hope that answers the question.
I don't know where I put my remote.
Oh.
Oh my god, that freaking kitten.
What'd she do?
Oh, I heard the clatter because I have that booby trap.
Oh, right, so she doesn't harass
Yeah.
the mice.
I have like a wall built of cardboard boxes
Yeah.
so that the cat can't get into the mouse room because we don't have a door. But I have a precarious like plastic box on top that gets like triggered anytime she attempts to get over there. So you hear a huge clatter because there was one time she got into the mouse room and climbed on top of one of their bins and knocked him over, and he scraped his little nose, and I don't
Yeah.
want her doing that again.
Nope.
So I heard the mouse trap,
The mouse trap.
the cat trap for the mice go off, and there was a kitten running away.
Oh, bad kitty.
Yeah.
Okay,
And I went over it in such gusto
you did.
with my
You're gonna
controller.
teach that cat what for.
He's hiding.
Oh, she's like, I know I did a bad thing. Ursula, how do you keep backgrounds from being muddy and overpowered? I feel like every time I draw scenery, the green of the grass and the trees takes everything over. It's even worse if you have a character who wears green. That is, I think it's important to learn kind of how colors interact with each other. It's called color relativity, where I don't think I have 9 point on here anymore, so it's kind of hard to show you.
9 points.
But if you actually look at like scenery, like the green of grass isn't always green, if that makes sense. So like, I don't know. Let's see. Because like, if I have like a tree, typically you'll think like, okay, my grass is green, my trunk is brown, and my leaves are green. And like that's how you think of it in symbols, I guess. Like it's kind of conceptually how we think of it. But if you actually looked at like a photo of a tree and some grass and some leaves, depending on like the lighting, depending on like the even just like the tone you're going for in the piece of art, like it can be totally different, especially if you're doing something like in the dark, where like when things are in the dark, color really gets stripped away. They go very monochrome, I guess. Anyways, so when you're actually looking at a photo of a tree, the trunk might actually be like a yellowy gray, and the leaves might actually be kind of blue with like some teals mixed in there. And then your grass might actually be very like yellow, and I don't know, in this case the grass would probably also be kind of teal, but you know, you might have some yellowed grass. And the trunk, like when you're doing shadows, it might actually be bringing in some really gray purples or something, like, and you'd still read this as like the leaves are green, the grass is green, just because colors are very relative. So I'd say like a good place to start with it, if you're not sure where, one is to grab photos and like use them as reference. So that's how I started. I just grab a photo, I'd color pick off of it and see like what color is actually here, because my brain says that this tree trunk is brown, but if I color pick it, it's actually gray, and there's some blues in there as like highlights, and there's some like greens as shadows. So yeah, so that's a good place to start. Another good place to start, if you need to like take a color palette that you have, like say a character who's wearing green. So let's say I have like someone who's wearing like a green t-shirt, and I'm like, I need to put them in a scene where things are, it's like sunset, and there's like orange light kind of hitting everything, and I don't want it to be like pure green like this because that would look weird. A good place to start is to grab like an orange or something and do like what do you call it, like one of these effects on it, like a multiplier or something, and kind of get an idea of like what it looks like when you put an orange on top of it, so it turns to like a very kind of orangey brown that would still, it might still read as green depending on how you kind of shift the colors around it. But yeah, so that's a good place to start. I wouldn't rely totally on using this kind of filter effect, but it's a good place to start when you're not sure, until you kind of learn how to trick people into thinking that orange shirt is actually a green shirt. Now, a lot of this stuff, you might be like, that doesn't make any sense, Ursula. How dare you? I just start practicing. Look at other people's art as well and do that color picking test. Like find an artist you really enjoy and whose color always looks like on point, and kind of color pick. That's another thing I did, like photos and art, and just see like what did other people choose to like give this vibe. Yeah, another way to keep backgrounds from being overpowering compared to characters is changing brightness and saturation. So brightness, if I show you the color wheel square thing. The color square. So saturation refers to how much gray is in it versus how pure the color is. So over here on the right, the color is very pure. There's no gray in it. And then over here on the left, it is like completely gray. And then, so the further you go to the right, the more saturated it is. The further you go to the left, the more desaturated it is, the more gray there is in it. So if I want my characters to stand out, maybe I want to make them very saturated and make my background more desaturated. That's a way to distinguish it. Another way to distinguish it is to go from light to dark, so brightness. So obviously up at the top, everything is very bright. Down at the bottom, everything is very dark. So one way to do it is I want my characters to stand out, so I'm going to make them more dark colors. I'm going to make my background all maybe more pastel-y light colors. Or reverse. You could also make your characters super light on a dark background. Whatever you need to do to create that contrast. Yeah. So hopefully that helps. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of studying to figure it out. It took me forever to learn it.
It really did.
And I'm still kind of dumb with it sometimes. So don't kick yourself if it's not working right away.
Kick yourself.
No, don't. Stop it. Stop kicking yourself.
Kick.
Quit it.
Kick.
Okay.
Kick. Smash.
Okay.
Stomp.
A question that I have worded more specific. What's your advice on laying text on pages such as speech bubbles or text, not necessarily contained within a box? Okay, so if you're doing, say, you know that effect in comics where they'll have like voiceover on top of something, where it is without like it's basically like a caption without a caption box. Turned off my. But yeah, instead of having like here's my character's thoughts, it'll just be like here's my character's thoughts. And maybe there's like a white stroke around it or something to distinguish it. And it's just your character's like internal monologue going. They do it a lot in like manga and stuff. Yeah, I'd say when you're doing that, you basically want to structure it like it's in a caption box or a speech bubble. So you could have it in a round container like a speech bubble, or a rectangular container like a caption box. Those are probably the simplest. You can get weird. You could put it in weird shapes if you wanted, but I'd say circle and rectangle are probably your best bet. To keep things neat. Basically what you do is you just remove the box. And then you have your text there. So I'd keep it structured so it's either in like a rectangle, or you can make it wider in the middle like it's being contained within a circle. And I'd say make sure that you have good contrast on it as well. If you're using, say, like a full color comic, you can probably get away with having just like white text on color. That's typically pretty easy to read, provided it's not like pastel light colors, they're more dark colors. You can just put white text on top. And vice versa, if you have it just on like lighter colors, white space, you can make it black text or dark colored text. Just make sure your contrast is there. You can play around with like adding strokes and outlines on things. But give them space the same way you would a speech bubble. So when you're thinking out your composition, it might even help to just like mock in like a container when you're, say, like on the sketch phase. So let's say I have a comic page. I'll keep it simple, like 3 panels, and I have my character who's here, and I want them to be thinking here. So maybe when I'm thinking it out, I can put like a little caption, and there's their thought bubble. And then, I don't know, there's 2 characters talking here. And there's like a speech bubble, and then more thoughts. So I'm going to put in a rectangle. And then I don't know, they high five.
Bad.
High five. And they're having more thoughts about it. So yeah, so just marking in where you want it so that I'm not, say, like, I don't say in this top panel, also put a character here, and I don't know, put another character here and here. This is a very crowded panel. I don't know why you'd be doing this. And there's nowhere to put your caption. So maybe you're like, oh, shoot, well, I'll put it up here. And then it gets squished off into the corner and it looks icky. And Ursula's mad at you.
No. Why is she always mad at us?
Because
She's such a mean
you
mom.
disappoint her.
Damn
You
it.
don't get any dessert. So yeah, so I'd make sure you just mark in your thumbnails or your sketches just where you want to put them. Keep them in a container so that they're nice and neat. Like, you don't want to have, like, I don't know, a top section that's like, I don't know, 3 words, and then a bottom section that's like 10 billion words, unless you're like maybe wrapping it around something. I don't know. But yeah, keep it neat, keep it in a container, make sure you're compensating for it the same way you would speech bubbles, and make sure it has good contrast, even if it's not contained within a bubble.
I'll contain you in a bubble. Watch out.
Oh god. Oh no. I'm imagining those bubbles like bubble soccer.
Yes.
They just roll around the house. Okay, more questions. Related to the color question, how would you avoid getting too desaturated or saturated when thinking about color relativity? I think the more you kind of learn about how colors work together, you'll get a good sense of, like, how they feel together. Because sometimes you will grab a color, like you might have you work on this, like, you work on this, like, background where everything is very desaturated and, like, brown and red or something. I don't know. Here's your background. Very desaturated, blah, blah, blah. And then I take my character and I don't, like, change around the saturation. And I just, like, plunk them down here. And you're like, wow, that does not fit at all. This little green person. So you're like, okay, well, if I take this green and kind of shift it over to, like, the saturation I want. Sorry, I'm switching the hue of the color. So say I'm like, I want to keep this green, but I want to desaturate it a lot so it fits better. So I might do this. And then I'm like, okay, well, I moved the saturation, but that's too dark now. Like, I'm not getting good contrast between, like, here and here. Sorry. Between here and here. So I might take this color and bump up the brightness. And because I'm making it brighter, I'm also moving it to kind of a more desaturated level as well. Because I find when you get lighter, if you just go straight up, it can get pretty neon looking. But if you desaturate it, it can kind of still fit with your desaturated palette. So yeah, so then I put this down and I'm like, okay, it's like the same green, but now it's got good contrast. But I'm like, it's still not quite fitting. Like this, looking at these colors, like this green feels more yellow, while this one feels more kind of like blue. So I'm like, I'm gonna take this color and I'm gonna move it over into, like, the yellow spectrum so that it still feels more yellow. And I'm like, there we go. Now I've made my bright green fit into my desaturated kind of brown palette. And it still kind of reads as green. Right now it probably doesn't because I've still got this here. So if I just cover this up, it might feel more green. See, but if you look at that, that feels green. Even though if you actually look at the color, it's like a yellowy, kind of lemony color. So there you go. That's kind of how it works. With saturation, I'd really just play around with it and just see what works for you.
Sometimes life calls for some desaturation.
Sometimes.
It's like Cucumber Quest
Yes.
with the Noise Master.
Yes.
It's super saturated. And then when you get with Mute Master, everything's desaturated. Or like the very last scene before they stopped making it. That was really desaturated and
I
cool.
was. I'd say a good rule of thumb, and obviously you want to play around with it depending on what you're going for, but a good rule of thumb is like lighter colors and highlights tend to get very desaturated, and shadows are very dark and saturated.
Oh, right, because people forget that shadows are saturated.
Yeah, because if I have a color like this lovely green, and I want to make a shadow, what a lot of people do is they'll pull it down to the left and they'll add a lot of gray and desaturation into their shadow, and then it gets very muddy, especially when you start to blend it. Like, it gets very like muddy and gray and gross looking, and it's like, ugh, I don't like
Blech.
that. Black.
Grody.
But if I take the green and I pull it to a dark and saturated color, like, it looks a lot nicer. It's very it feels more natural. You don't get gross poopy midtones when you blend things together. I find with shadows, again, it depends on like the tone you're going. I tend to pull things down toward like a cooler tone as well. So like, because I'm working with a very yellow green, to make it cooler, I'm gonna bring it more towards like a true green or a cyan. And then you drop that in and it looks even darker.
Edgy.
Oh goodness, I'm sorry.
Look at all this Ursula talking. So proud of her. Answering your questions.
Warm and cold is different to saturated and desaturated? Yes. So warm and cold refers to this, like if you're working digitally, this kind of top level where you're going between different hues of colors, so like red versus blue, or green versus yellow, etc. Yeah, so cooler colors are like your greens, your blues, your purples. Warm colors.
They're the colors that wear sunglasses. They're the
Yeah,
cooler ones.
They're the cool ones. And then the warm colors, who are like your mom friend, who bake you like cookies and bring you soup when you're sick. That's like your yellows, oranges, reds. And each color can be pulled toward a more cool end or a more warm end. So I can have like a pure red, and if I wanted to make it warmer, I'd pull it towards orange. So then you could still call this a red, but it's more orange, it's more warm. And if I wanted a cooler red, I'd pull it towards kind of pinky purple, where you could still call this a red, but now it's more on the cool tone. And you could do that to all the colors.
And isn't it like relative too? Like a cool yellow is still warm compared to like a warm other one. It's like Pokemon. It's
Yeah.
not like Pokemon.
No.
There's like a tier system to it.
Yeah, because I could have a blue that's like warmer than a red, for example.
Yeah.
Ursula, how do I decide which colors fit for my characters? There's a lot of language to color that helps with creating characters. So like certain colors kind of mean certain emotions. Like, for example, red can mean passion or anger or fire or
A cool red is passion and a warm red is anger. Isn't
or
it?
it can mean blood, or like there's things we associate with colors.
Am I right with that? Like a cooler red is more like passion and love, and a warm red is more fire.
Not
Very-
necessarily.
Isn't it?
I think a generally warm red does mean more kind of like fire and passion and
It's just
anger.
meaner on the eyes.
It is. Where, yeah, I guess a cooler red, you think more kind of like pinky hearts and...
Yeah.
But I think you can still have a warm red that feels
I guess that's true.
nice.
It's just lighter
Yeah.
in that case.
Yeah. I'd say so.
You wouldn't want a saturated warm red for
No.
love usually.
It gets that's a very angry color.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Um,
Ursula just makes everything purple.
I like purple. Okay. Right. So it helps to understand kind of like I always start with my character's personality, and that's kind of how I shape their whole design. But yeah, colors kind of have a language. So like if you think of like villains, a lot of them typically have very green and purple.
They're the tertiary colors, right?
Oh, you're right. So yeah, a good rule of thumb, not necessary, but a good rule is your
Very
primary
common rule.
colors, so yellow, red, and blue. Those are typically kind of like your hero colors. Whereas the tertiary colors, so like purple, green, orange, they're typically like the villain colors.
Yeah, because Simba's like yellow and red, but Scar is like more of an orange, and he has all the green fire and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Maleficent's all
Maleficent,
green.
purple and green.
Superman.
Superman, red and
Cowboy
blue.
Bebop is another one.
Yep.
Oh, Gurren Lagann.
Gurren Lagann, all the characters have blue and red,
Yellow.
yellow.
Blue, red,
Like,
yellow. That's the palette.
That's typically it. You don't necessarily need to have your hero coded with like
Yeah, but it's such a... Because, like, whenever you use tertiary colors for your character, they're always going to be, like, either a villain or an anti-hero. Because, like, in Magical Girls, the purple one is always the anti-hero Magical Girl.
you're right. And the main ones are usually like
Pink. And
Pink.
pink is still, like,
Still
on the
red,
spectrum
yeah.
of red. Yeah, and, like,
And
the yellow
blue,
Magical Girl and the blue Magical
yellow.
Girl.
you might get a green. Green can be a nice color.
Yeah, except... Who is the green one in Sailor Moon? I guess Sailor
Jupiter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jupiter. You're right. But even then, she's green and pink.
Yep.
But, like, then, like... Isn't it, like... I don't know. The more mysterious ones, like... Oh, yeah, Sailor Saturn's purple.
Yep.
Yeah. There's just a language to colors that's,
Totally.
like, embedded.
So that can be a good place to start. So if you're like, I have my main character and I don't know what to do, try starting with like red, blue, yellow. But like it depends, because if you have say like a character who's super naturey, like maybe they're like a druid or something, maybe you want to go for like green and brown.
I think it's more that, like, not hyper, like, that, like, neon-y green that's pretty evil.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
I
That
feel
very
like it's hard to get away
like,
with it for...
acid green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the times, like, even if you want to, like, defy stereotypes, like, it's still kind of like a trope, and you'll still, like, have implications with your colors,
Yes.
depending on how you chose them. Like how you colored Alex and made her into a Silent Hill character somehow.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Colors just, they say things.
They do. They have meanings. I think I missed someone's question. Where is it? How much detail should be in a character design, and how simple should the design be to be able to redraw it over and over again? I'd say my general rule of thumb is like for your main characters, you want them to have you want your main characters to be more simple, because you're going to be drawing them a lot and you're going to be drawing them from different angles a lot. So the simpler their design is, the easier it is on you. That isn't to say you should shy away from having, say, detailed character designs. If that's your dream, then go for it. Like, don't let me stop you. But
Let her stop you.
true, I'm saving you. I'm saving you from pain.
You can make detailed looking things, but also not make them detailed in a way.
Yeah. An interesting. I saw a post. I wish I remembered who said it, because it was really good advice. But they were talking about when you're trying to add detail, like sometimes going over like a line a bunch of times can make things feel more detailed when you've just drawn 3 lines. Like you haven't gone in and drawn like an intricate pattern or anything. Anyways, but yeah, so I'd say like keep to really kind of basic shapes with your main characters. Like adding details could be things like you're adding belts, you're adding borders on their clothing, you're adding maybe like a really simple design on their shirt. I don't know. You can also you can add, say, details like, say they have like they're wearing a sweater and you want to show that it's knit. You can just add like little gestures of a knit pattern on it instead of always going in and drawing the whole knit pattern. But when
Honestly,
you're
it looks better usually when you don't do the whole thing.
that's true. It can get too detailed and distracting. But anyways.
Isn't that like an early mistake people do? Is like they draw every individual hair on a head?
Yeah, definitely. Where when you're drawing hair, it can look, instead of drawing like every individual strand of hair, this is a bad example, but you know, it's easier to just like draw in a few locks and focus on kind of the shadow and the highlight and stuff.
It's like how you draw hair when you're a kid.
Yeah. You draw it like this. As opposed to like I don't know. Anyways. Yeah, so I'd say like for your kind of secondary, no, even your secondary characters, so like characters who aren't main characters but they still like they show up, they have dialogue, they still do things in the story, like I'd still keep their designs pretty simple, especially if they have to appear in like multiple scenes across your story. Keep it simple, but for something like a background character who maybe shows up in one scene, like someone they go and meet and talk to for one scene and then they don't show up again, like you can make their design super simple because you might only have to draw them for like 10 pages and only one setting as well. Yeah, so I think it takes a lot of work up front to simplify a design, because a good place to start is to draw like I don't know, say you have a super detailed character in like a super detailed dress. I'm probably not gonna go super detailed here for time, but say I have like this character who's got like this vest, it's got like patterns and like frills upon frills upon frills and like I don't know, just tons of detail, blah 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 blah. Wow, look how detailed this is. You know,
Wow, so detailed.
so detailed. And like I go in and I draw like all the individual beads on the dress, all this stuff. So like that's a good place to start, but then I'm like, I want this to be my main character and this is what like they wear the whole time. I'm like, okay, well what's like the main shape? So like I have this kind of like triangle thing going throughout. So like for the chest piece, I'm gonna make it kind of like a V neck type thing. And maybe to kind of imply the pearls, maybe I'll just put like a border around the kind of neck line, and then instead of having like layers and layers and layers of frills, maybe I'll just do like a top sleeve and then a middle point and then a bottom sleeve, and I still get kind of the same vibe. And then same with the skirt, where I just kind of maybe I'll break it down into like 2 or 3 layers, and just kind of do some implications of like frills and stuff, and do borders to imply like pearls. And then if I have like a close-up of my character with the bodice they're wearing, like maybe I can go in and draw the individual pearls along the neckline type thing.
My
but
fish
yeah.
are asking for gold.
What?
My fish are asking for gold.
Greedy.
They're like, we need 3 gold.
Greedy.
Why are
What
the
are they
fish talking
doing?
to me? What are they planning?
So yeah, so you can start detailed and kind of simplify from there, and then do all that up front when you're designing your character, and then when you're doing the comic, it'll be nice and simple and lovely. I tend up making very plain characters because I imagine them only wearing it practically, but also getting dressed, and how practical that is, especially adventures. That's a good way to think about it. I think you can sometimes make something impractical if it brings you joy.
Yeah.
But it is generally good to think of like, how would someone actually put this on? Like, people like little details like that. Bones, what in the world are you doing? He's playing Stardew. Speaking to the fish.
Well, they responded, look, everyone, fresh gold ore. I'm like, Why are they talking? Why do the fish speak to me?
They're scary.
I guess I do have the power to speak to nature. Like I was speaking to a bear earlier.
That is true. You have like the forest.
But it just
magic
makes
in
it
you.
even weirder the fact that I cook the fish.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah. I
Um,
eat them. And they can speak to me. I'm becoming a vegan now.
The name of the stream grabbed me by my shirt and sat me down at my desk. Good. Get your work done. Or no dessert tonight.
Aggro.
I'm so concerned. Or are you assuming the bear doesn't just speak English? Because he literally says, like, normally I can't talk to people. You must have, like, some forest magic in you or
Yeah,
something.
he literally said that.
Yeah. It's in the text. It's canon.
And you also can't talk talk to him before that.
New Horizons 2.0 is approaching. I saw that. It looks so cute. I was really happy to see Brewster because that was, like, my favorite part.
Yeah, and
Of
then
New
she
Leaf.
spent hours complaining with me.
Yeah. Listen, it's not our favorite game, but if you like it, that's great.
Yeah. I'm jealous of you, actually. if you
Right?
like
I have so much FOMO about Animal
people
Crossing.
who have fun with Animal
Like,
Crossing.
I want to love it. I love the other games. I don't know why I don't like New Horizons. Okay, I do, but I don't want to bore you with it and make you
Yeah.
guys feel sad that you like it because I want you guys to like it.
And it's not bad in an incredibly gross way, like Pokemon.
Yeah. It just has mechanics I don't like.
Yeah.
Anyways. And I just wish I was having fun with it.
How are you talking to them? I own a fish pond. They're my children.
I thought you were talking about your fish wanting to rob a bank.
I feel like they would if they could.
Yeah.
My salmon are mean.
They'll get you. Anyways, thank you for asking me art questions. I feel
Yeah.
useful again.
Thanks for letting Ursula feel useful again.
Yeah, thanks.
Now she won't
guys.
complain all night.
Yep.
Because I have to deal with her when she doesn't feel useful.
It's true. I sit and I cry.
Oh god, she cries so much, guys. Every night it's always crying.
night.
Like, why don't they ask me questions on the YouTube?
Why don't they like me? Except they do like me. You guys open the stream by
And then Charlie's
complimenting
like,
me.
I can't make an art video. Ursula never talks.
You want ice cream? Go get some ice cream.
Oh, ice cream
Live
so
your life.
good.
Guys, ask about character concepts. That's great for the channel.
Yeah, people love hearing about how to design characters.
Because it's fun.
Oh, we have to go through like Avo videos. Because we haven't done Avo videos in forever.
Oh, you're right.
For all the characters.
I've got a bunch new characters designed.
Yeah. I love talking about Avo. I love when we post videos about OCs because then the true fans will come to me and be like, I love all your OCs. And then they draw them and it's great. No one watches those videos, but the people who do are someone.
Listen, sometimes you just get really into someone else's OC.
Oh,
Have you ever had that?
and then you steal them.
You steal them, yes. They're mine now. I guess that's just like getting into any fandom. You just get really obsessed with someone else's OC.
It's true.
Oh, hey, Olive. Thanks for stopping by. I never said Ursula never talks. I just gently implied Bones doesn't shut up.
It's because Ursula's trying to draw.
Yeah. Yeah,
She-
I'm distracted because I'm
She
like,
gets upset when I don't talk.
yeah. What's
like,
your guys' favorite
oh.
OC design tropes?
I don't know.
My favorite design tropes. I like, I like Twinkie elves.
Yeah, you do. Oh, pointed ears.
Pointed ears. That's my favorite. I love pointed
She
ears.
always adds pointed ears to everyone.
Any
whenever she has
excuse.
an excuse to, yeah. Pointed eared vampires.
Oh, vampires need pointy ears. I love pointy ears. I like, what else do I like? That's a hard question. Now I'm gonna go look at my characters to see what do I do.
I always make a lot of redheads.
Yeah, redheads. I love ladies with short hair as well.
Burgundy suits.
Burgundy suits, yes.
Oh, there's one of my redheads.
Big brows, yes.
I read that as bows.
Big bows.
That's very wholesome.
I like teeth. And
You like
not conven-
teeth. I like when my characters have teeth.
I do like some little fangs on characters. That's also really cute. I just like vampires, apparently.
Yeah. I like werewolves.
Yes.
Characters that turn into wolves. I have a lot of those, actually.
You do.
I have like an absurd amount.
I
not
love a
even
good
werewolves.
cowboy.
I guess it's not shocking that I made the werewolf book.
If the character isn't a pretty anime boy girl, I usually like them. Oh, Bones loves like grizzled old men.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's old men.
Characters with horns? Yes. That's a good one. Not about characters, but opinion on the style changes in the middle of a long form story, like yeeting colors in the middle of a story. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with it. I think there's here's the thing. With something like a webcomic, people are pretty forgiving about like style changes like that because it's like made over like such a long period of time and people kind of get to see it as it's put out. So they're very forgiving when things change, I find. I know when I was like a little asshole pedant child when I first started in comics, I'd get all grumpy about when style changes happened. Because it felt very... I just didn't like how incohesive it felt. I was like, what's the narrative point of changing the style? Blah, blah, blah. And like, everything had to be like super deep and perfect.
I still feel that on some vibe.
On some level, I'm like, well... I'd like the story to like be cohesive art-wise as much as possible, because obviously things will change as you draw it over a long period of time. But like, I want the bones to be there that are the same.
Yeah, it'd be weird if 9 Point we were suddenly like, oh man, let's make it a line style.
Yeah. So yeah, so I'd say nothing wrong with you if you feel the need to do that. Like if that lets you finish your story, I think that's
Yes.
a good thing. But I'd say
That's the most important thing.
that's the most important thing is finishing it. I think more people care that the story finishes rather than like the style
Monica,
being the same
were
the
you
whole
upstairs being a bad girl?
time. Madoka. But I think you're better off starting with something that's like easy for you to make from the start and having like a cohesive style from the start. Just in general. But you can just do that on your next project now that you know what it's like to work on a larger one, you know? Y'all did make 9 Point line. Let's push Child Ursula in a locker. You should. She was a jerk. She was mean. She was insecure. I used to read something where the girl went from a blonde. Oh, the girl went from a blonde. Went from a blonde to almost brunette, and it threw me off because of how dark her hair suddenly got. See, yeah, because sometimes it can break like understanding in a comic if the visual changes too much, where you're like, I don't know, you're like, yeah, you can't tell which character's which because you relied on the hair color to tell the characters apart.
Or Evan's nose.
Yeah, exactly. If you need to change their hair color of a character, just say that their hair was dual chrome the entire time. My hair was like platinum as a kid, now it's poopy brown. Question for both of you. How do you make time to write scripts, thumbnails, and comics? We actually were talking about that at the beginning of the stream, where we're trying to set
That's a
aside...
better question for Ursula, because I always have time. It's just a matter of if I want to do it.
Yeah. For me, because I work full-time, I generally need to set a time aside in the day where it's like, for an hour every night, I will do comics.
I'm a trophy husband / house spouse.
Yes. He's such a house spouse. He sews, he cooks, he cleans.
Yeah, well, you're trying to get on my turf. With your knitting.
Let me crochet. Let me be an old lady. Okay.
Fine.
Thank you. Yeah, I think sometimes it helps, like, and you don't have to do, like, an hour every day, because sometimes that's just not possible. Even just setting in, like, I'm going to spend, like, 20 minutes every day just checking in with my work and doing, like, because maybe you'll write, like, a page of script or do, like, 1 or 2 thumbnails in that day, but it adds up over time. If you do it every
Yes.
day for a month, you're still going to have, like, 30 pages of script and, like, 60 thumbnails.
I guess if you're in my position where you do have all this time, but you're still getting nothing done, like it's a matter of finding accountability to make
True.
time, and to find outside accountability, having other people make you do things, or having a schedule, streaming for a friend.
Yep.
On Discord. That one's one that Ursula's doing. Where it's like if someone else can watch your screen to make sure you're doing it.
Yeah. So that they're like,
Some of your most accountable drawing time is right now
yeah, true. When I have people just watching.
on stream, like because we always go on stream. We're pretty good about stream schedule.
Yeah. So yeah, accountability can definitely help. Setting a deadline also helps if you're like, I want to have X amount done by this date, so that it's not just kind of a nebulous, I'm going to finish a comic eventually.
Yes.
So saying like, I'm going to finish 5
Monica,
pages
stop
this month
honking.
is a very good one, where you're like, on, I don't know, October 31st, I'm going to have 5 comic pages done.
I don't
That'd
know
be
why you're
hard right
honking.
now because we're halfway through, but
Why are you honking?
setting deadlines, having a friend to keep you on track.
Matica, stop honking challenge.
Matica, please. Please. Yeah.
We are like that, Charlie. I agree. Stadler and Waldorf.
The 2 old man puppets, the peanut gallery.
You're worse than me.
We had a
Matica, go, Mado, go, Mado, go.
go Mado, go Mado, go. Go Mado, go Mado, go.
Go, Mado.
She's just looking at me.
Go, go, go. Go,
Right,
Mado.
go to the
Go get your thing. Go
Oh,
Live
Oh.
your dreams.
oh, hello.
Whatever it is you want, you get it. You take the day by
You just
by
wanted
storm.
cuddles from mom.
Oh.
Mm.
I think she's upset about the kitten.
I'm sorry, she lives in the house.
Yeah.
I know. She's the worst.
What are you looking for, Mado? Where
She
is
just wants
it?
Scritches. Where's your toy?
Where's your dreams?
Where's your toy?
What do you want?
Go get your toy.
Go get it.
Go get it, Matica. Go get it.
Go get it.
What happened to all the balls you got for your birthday? Are they all under the couch?
I'm struggling with this pose. It's just not what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should scrap it.
Scrap them.
Okay. So new.
Don't look at me like that. You monster.
Because it's. Oh, oops. Drawing on a hidden layer. Because it's 2 characters.
Smetchin.
Smidgen.
Smitch.
One's into it.
The other's totally into it.
Totally into it. I don't know.
It's like when we kiss.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, ah, fine, I guess.
Fine, I guess I'll kiss you. It's not very enthusiastic.
Yeah, I know. I don't care. It's fine.
Everyone went quiet.
No, he didn't.
You didn't?
No, I'm loud as all hell. I'm just so loud that your brain is tuning me out, because otherwise it would be painful.
You're right. It's like the fish.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I
Maybe-
speak to you like a fish.
Blub blub. Maybe if I have.
Sorry, you're just losing me because, like, I'm getting hungry.
Oh no.
And I'm like, oh, I should make spring rolls.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Whereas everyone else is like, birds have thumbs.
What?
I don't know. Someone just said bird thumbs.
Oh.
I don't know.
I'm thinking about Muppets. Everyone just went off into their own little head.
Everyone's like, it's time to listen to music. It's time to light the lights. The Muppet Show tonight. I'm just Stardew fishing.
Stardew fishing.
Mhm.
Okay, good. Bird thumbs. Do they have thumbs on their little feet? Or on their wings?
They have them on their wings,
They do?
don't they? Yeah, like the birds that have fingers, they're on the wings.
Cheese boats, I thought we had something.
Someone. Yeah, someone.
Somebody we've never heard of from before.
Lek breed. Oh right, I accidentally upgraded my axe. It's not what I intended to do.
Oops.
Because I want to upgrade my farm equipment because it's winter,
Oh.
as one does, you know?
Oh, right. That is a good time to upgrade your equipment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hunt down ice cream. You go get it. You shoot it with a bow and arrow. Yes, birds have thumbs. What? Hey, I'm doing the sketchbook slam challenge. Oh. You're on page 230? Dang.
I remember I did the sketchbook.
That's powerful.
slam.
I tried. I could not do it. It's too much for me.
Yeah.
Aw, thank you for watching, Moxie. I'm glad we help. Everyone here is so sweet. You guys are just the nicest. I have another question. Okay. Imagine you have a character who can't speak for unknown reasons, and they speak in sign language. How do you write dialogue in that way so the reader knows what they're saying?
There's a lot of comics that have sign language.
Yeah.
The C in You, is that it?
Is it?
Yeah, I think that one has sign language.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Whatever you do, make it consistent, I guess.
Yeah. Because you could just have the sign language straight up. You could have someone repeat what they're saying.
Well, that's weird if they're just talking in sign language, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, Amy doesn't speak sign language.
Because you could have.
But if they speak sign language, you can also probably do it like any other, like, alternative language other than, like, whatever you're writing the comic in.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, like, once it's explained that they speak in sign language, then it's like, oh, okay, like, you could use word bubbles somehow.
Yeah. There's lots of ways you could do it.
Were bubbles coming from there?
Oh, what kind? Like a caption kind of thing? Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
For the reader's understanding, similar to how like they might translate someone who's say like speaking French in an English comic. They might just put it in like little brackets what they're saying,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
but the characters don't understand it.
Because you can treat it just like another language, because that's kind of what it. Well, that is what it is. It is another language.
Oh, the speech bubbles come from the hands. That's really cute.
Yeah.
It makes sense because usually the tail of the bubble's pointed at like their face or their mouth.
Well, doesn't sign language also come from the face too?
Yeah.
Face and hands. It's all part of it.
That is very cute though.
But yeah.
Third milk. I'm
Not
glad you
from
got
the mouth
some.
though. Yeah.
I'm glad you got some milk product, June. Would you ever do a comic in the complete opposite genre of your pre-existing works?
I mean, both of my comics are like the complete opposite direction. Because like there's the horror and then there's the
Lighthearted fantasy.
like I probably wouldn't do a contemporary comic because I just find that boring.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a lie. I might do a memoir comic, which is kind of contemporary.
True.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
If it ever has an end.
Yeah.
When my life is over, then I'll make a comic about it.
Yes.
Ugh.
The deaf guy. That's what what the comic is called. Okay. Neat. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of genres I like, but I feel like they all have kind of commonalities, like with what I'd want to make.
I guess with like sign language and stuff, it'd be nice to probably consult someone.
Yeah,
Like the sensitivity reader talk, right?
totally. Just someone who,
Because there's like culture stuff.
yeah, it can help to research like how, yeah, just people who speak with sign language, like how do they speak to people who don't speak it?
Yeah.
Like understanding that interaction might help.
Well, not even that. I just mean like asking them like how they would portray it in a comic, like what is offensive and what isn't.
True.
Yeah.
True, because you might find an example in a comic that
You're like, oh, this is great, but if you like showed it to someone who actually speaks sign language, they'd be like, ugh,
like this sucks.
this is gross.
Now that the stream's wrapping up, I might make myself a honkin' sandwich and go on voice chat. Heck yeah. Hey, if you
Oh.
guys want to hang out on voice chat with us, you should join the Patreon.
It's
Link down below.
true.
It's only $1 and you can just chat in a little private room with everybody.
All right, it was lovely seeing you guys. Ursula's gonna talk to you for the next few minutes. I need food. I'm gonna die.
Okay, go eat some food, you silly sausage. Sensitivity reader video is helpful. I keep telling myself while I tremble. Oh, it is helpful. I speak LSF, French Sign Language. I think it would be hard to be offensive. Oh, okay. I just realized that drawing a deaf person signing would allow you to draw more exaggerated facial expressions and whatnot. That's true. Bones, everyone says bye. He says, yeah, I am. Okay. All right, my guy. Okay, well, thank you all so much for joining us. I hope we answered some questions and we were entertaining and you had a good time, and I hope you got some work done.
So hungry, I can't figure out how to work the
Oh no, he's fading fast. Alrighty. Well, alright. Thank you so much for joining us. Please make sure to subscribe if you're new here. Liking the video would also help us a lot. Please consider joining our Patreon if you want to hang out in our little voice chat calls, get some work done. Maybe get your stuff critiqued at the end of the month. We also do that for Patreon members. And yeah, I just hope you have a really good day. Be good to yourself, be kind to yourself. Even if you didn't get any work done, you're still an artist and a writer and a creative person, and you're still valid, but you won't get dessert. So goodbye. Mwah. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah, mwah.